Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Bobby here, and let's queer up business. Bank tells customer complaining about Pride embracement. Well, go bank online then. In a story published in the Telegraph, a customer wrote to complain about his experiences while visiting the popular British bank NatWest. Despite Pride Month being over, the bank was still displaying Pride flags. The customer, known as Mr. J, said that the flags caused him distress because of his disabilities and religious beliefs. When he complained, the bank said they would not take down the flags and suggested he try online banking or banking over the phone if he was upset by the decorations. Mr. J was very upset by that response, so he filed a complaint with the Financial Ombudsman Service in the UK, an organization that investigates consumer issues with financial institutions. Ombudsman Danielle Padden wrote, quote, NatWest is a bank that has chosen to display Pride materials along with other paraphernalia at certain times of the year. As a service, we wouldn't be able to tell them not to do that, as they are entitled to celebrate and raise awareness of the communities they serve. I'm not able to decide that NatWest have acted unfairly here. They have provided alternative methods of banking and are entitled to decide what materials they display in their branches at certain times of the year, end quote. NatWest has over 500 branches and has continually ranked well on the Stonewall's UK Workplace Equality Index, which is the equivalent for our American HRC Corporate Equality Index. Well, first of all, good for NatWest. I loved it. I have lived in London before, and I have used their service before. Turns out, when I was there, I remember them very well. They always embrace Pride. I mean, there's no rainbow capitalism, yada, yada, yada. But also, I just want to ask this question. Mr. J, what disability would make you uncomfortable looking at the rainbow flag?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Color blindness?
You know, like, as a disabled person myself, I'm like, why are you weaponizing your disability to be homophobic? Like, that's just kind of ridiculous.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's no... And religious beliefs. I'm sorry, not everywhere you step into has to cater to your religious beliefs. Sorry.
I know some people want to talk about, is this the story of rainbow capitalism? Is this an example of a good corporation? Like, no, this is a good example of a good bank teller. You know, where, you know, there's a saying that I think has become very toxic in America, which is the customer is always right. And the real quote is, the customer is always right in matters of taste, which is supposed to mean if someone thinks they look pretty in that wig or in that dress, you don't disagree. Not this idea that the customer can always brutalize the world around them in a store. Yeah. And it's nice to know that that is not part of the culture in England or really anywhere outside of the United States. So good for this teller for standing up and saying, listen, if you don't like the rainbow flag, you can go bank online or give us a phone call. Someone will eventually pick up.
And the Ombudsman, good for them for protecting the LGBTQ community or any marginalized community by getting out there. And in a time like this, it's actually good for us as U.S. citizens to see that there's still support in other parts of the world for the LGBTQ community, where we fear it's sort of waning a little bit here right now in the U.S. So anytime we can tell a story like this, that highlights a positive outcome to discrimination, you know, it always feels good.
I mean, ombudsmen serve a major function, but, you know, a lot of people are not aware of the term. Essentially, it's like sort of like an in-house mediator / arbitrator to make sure that they're, you know, complying with whatever the rules that they're subscribed to.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried about this story, like, because when I saw the UK, I was like, oh my gosh, the UK, really? After, like, y'all had passed the, you know, anti-trans law that you did? You're actually supporting the LGBT community? Oh my gosh, thank you.
Well, I mean, not so much pass an anti-trans law as the fact that UK Supreme Court basically said that trans women are not considered women under the law, which is absurd.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the Parliament is going to write something else to pass it, and Supreme Court has shut up. So anyway, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.